System starting up. History deleted.
Proudly brought to you by Joe with Technical Defects. Sorry for the delay. Had a little hiccup in the program, but very excited to have our guest this evening. As a lot of you know, there's a new show coming out, Plastic Crack. We have our special guest, and I don't want to butcher your name, Guillermo Olivo?
That was actually pretty good.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And again, I do apologize for the tardiness.
Thank you, Joe, for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into this. How did you...
I like what you have there. What is it, clerks?
I have, yes, a clerk sign, actually.
Nice.
Retro art. Cool. Thank you very much. Got some Superman stuff. I myself am a collector, but not as engaged as a lot of your fans are, apparently, and the people you associate with.
So. Well, I happen to be a collector myself. I do this for a living. Our company works with content, television content, and we do short features and commercials and promotional campaigns. And we've been incurring into the documentary area for the last 3 years with different sources, and this idea came up to do a documentary on collectors. We started with Irvin Santiago, which is a legend among the G.I. Joe world, and it started in the very strange way imaginable. Hurricane Irma was approaching the coast. So we've been friends. I know Irvin for a few years, and actually buy a lot of Joes from him. And so I call him up. I'm like, I'm getting ready. I have a rule. If it's category 1 to 3, I'll surf it. I just deal with it. If it's 4 or above, you have to watch it. You have to watch the trajectory. And this monster was 5 and something, heading straight up to us. So I was getting everybody ready and packed up to get out of the state. So I call him up, and he's like, I'm not leaving. What do you mean you're not leaving? His area, by the way, the area that he lives, it was declared a mandatory evacuation zone. And he told me I'm not leaving my collectibles. So crazy enough, I told him, like, would you mind if I go there with a crew right now and film you saying that? And that's how everything started.
That is amazing. So are you guys in Florida?
Yeah. But the company is Miami based, but yeah, we're in Florida.
Oh, I'm on the Treasure Coast of Florida, by the way.
Nice.
So what got you into collecting? What did you start with, if I may ask?
Technically, I do what I do for a living because of toys. I saw A New Hope when I was a kid, like most of us, and I decided to do... I set up the task of recreating A New Hope. Eventually became the Empire. The goal was to recreate The Empire Strikes Back in a stop motion. So that was either a great excuse from my end to get more toys, or I was actually looking forward to do it. And then the army building started at the same time, because then I was analyzing the shots, and I'm like, all right, that shot has 5 stormtroopers. That means I'm going to need 5 to recreate the whole thing. And that literally I started doing productions since a very young age, and I didn't stop, neither collecting or working in this genre.
That's awesome. Are you strictly into Joes, or
No. I use an analogy. I have a few kids. Star Wars made me a dad. That's my eldest. That was my first one. And then Joe's came in. Obviously, when Star Wars went down, Joe's were the immediate replacement. And then down the road, I just switched lanes and I went to robots and things of rod, and I have a little bit of everything, but my main two tentpoles, if you will, are Joe's and Star Wars.
Most prized possession out of your collectibles?
Wow.
Either sentimental or valuable.
That's a tough one. I'm not gonna go into the value one. I do have a pair of 3PO and R2. It's 1977. That they're very, very valuable to me because they've been with me since 1978.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So can you delve into a little about the show? Do we know where it's going to be aired yet? Or?
I can regrettably, I cannot disclose that. I was actually pushing the ropes to see if I was going to be able to say something today, but we're dealing with some technicalities and paperwork stuff. And we can't yet, but we're very soon. I mean, hopefully either when this show is over or next week, we're gonna disclose it publicly. Obviously, it all started, like I was saying. The idea was to do a long format film. I was aiming for 120 minutes, and then the Irvin story is amazing. He just driving with him, tagging along with him, it's just a mind blowing story. He gets stuff like, hey, James DeSimone is in town. What are you guys doing? I'm headed your way with a camera. So Hasbro, former Hasbro executives, you name it. So I was, from the get-go, I was trying to kill myth. Like, we're not a bunch of weirdos, if you will, living in a basement and we're not parents still. We have families, we pay mortgage, we have normal lives. And that's one of the main reasons that I was trying to bring abroad. So I will call it like the first layer of the whole thing. Number two, which goes right above it, is what triggers this conduct? What makes you a full grown-up man to have Superman behind you and to have clerks on the side? And in that journey, just simply asking that question, why do you do this? We uncover amazing stories. We uncover amazing reasons that they all connect. They all connect. We all resonate in a way. I had a set of rules that everything that eventually makes it up to the air has to resonate with my personal story in some way. It will be too egocentric to talk about me as a collector. So I decided to, let's ask other collectors out there. Are you still there? It's frozen. Are you there? Hello? Are you there?
Hello, I'm here. Yeah,
okay. I lost you again.
Have to developer on that because I know my internet speeds are up to 50 MIPS right now, so it's not my internet, that's for sure. Definitely not happy about that and a little embarrassed, to be honest with you.
No worries, no worries. So what I was saying, what triggers collecting, and let's kill myth and let's explore. And in that journey, we uncover wonderful stories. We uncover wonderful passages of going back to when you were a kid and you didn't know what mortgage means. And now as a grown-up that you're dealing with things like mortgage or stress at work and stuff like that, going back to that room, that toy room, you go back to when you were 7, you go back to when there was no issues on earth, and then it's somewhat like an unplug from the world, a temporary one, but it's an unplug that allows you to just take a chill pill and recharge and go back to that. In that process, we one of the collectors that we tape, his name is Carlos Barron, he's in Orlando. He was telling me like, hey, you got to meet this guy in Michigan. He's a YouTuber. He has a wonderful story. And I always said, I'm not looking for who has the biggest collection or who has the most of whatever. I want to hear the story. The story needs to be compelling, needs to resonate. But at the same time, I fully understand that this might be a minority in terms of audience. So I needed to make it broader for bigger demos that your mom can watch it. Your girlfriend, who's maybe she's not into toy collecting, should be able to resonate with what we're saying. So I met Justice Curry, who's a online celebrity of some sort. He's in Michigan. He has an amazing story. I truly wasn't into the type of toys. He does have a really neat collection among a myriad of things, not just Joe's or Motu. And then Michigan happened. We went to tape him during the very cold winter. His story is an amazing redemption story. But then we started taping the community in Michigan, and I became a Michigan fan from that moment on. I mean, they have a wonderful community there. They all support each other, and I was just observing. I wasn't dictating an editorial line. I was just observing that. So the whole thing started to grow, and then the inspiration to make this happen was a panel of Kirk Bazigian, former Hasbro VP of marketing, and in one of the Joe cons, and he was telling the story, the behind the scenes story of the USS Flag, the big boat. And I was so mind blown of what he was saying that I decided, that story needs to be told. And I sent him a message, and I told him, like, hey, I know you're in the other show. I hope there's no issues with that, but I cannot tell the story without you. And he's like, come on over. He's an amazing human being. We spent a great time taping him. We ended up taping everybody involved, most of the main roles involved in the revamp of G.I. Joe. But I didn't want the film to be just about Joe, so I started to branch out. We had Transform, and then obviously Star Wars. We went all the way to Seattle and got Gus Lopez, who's a major Star Wars collector, and such an amazing human being, regardless of the collection. And that was a great journey. So we have a little bit of everything in every single episode. When we got to that point, we had enough to call it a series, and we went to the hard decision of what do we put and what do we just scratch. And during that moment, my general producer, Karina, she was like, dude, this should be a series. You can't just dispose that. And, let's start from scratch. Let's start doing this whole thing again from zero. And we come up with a series. And season 1 should be out in a minute now.
Excuse me. That is awesome. I got some people that are kind of excited to see you. Bear with me one moment. Vicky Trek Nerd.
Vicky, may the force be with you. Vicky is an amazing. She's one of the collectors that we have on the film. Vicky is an amazing human being. I had a blast taping her collection, taping what she has to say. She always within our community. She's always the voice of reason. But at the same time, I'm a Star Wars guy, and she's a Trekkie. So there's this natural. We love each other in a good way, but there's this natural friction every time that we see each other, and I start saying, may the force be with you. She's an amazing human being, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to love her take on this whole story.
Excellent, excellent. Willie Romero says hello. We've got Justin Curry's here. And let's see. There's Justin, or Justice, excuse me. And I'm just looking things over. Yeah, he did. I don't know who Adam Taylor is necessarily, but he said,
hi, Adam. Welcome, Adam.
I am one of them. So this is just kind of fun things we do during interviews or just kind of talking around here and audience participation kind of thing. Cool. And let's see. And Vicky does love you, apparently.
I knew you were going to watch, so I did this on purpose.
So could you divulge how many episodes there are?
Yes. The way it was formatted, and this is not necessarily a decision that we took, that was the other party on the West Coast. The first season is going to have 4 episodes. Every season is going to be 4 episodes, and we were aiming for 3 seasons total. So we're going to have 12 episodes.
That is excellent. I'm just looking over my notes. There is so much to cover. I was looking things over, and your director of photography is a Funko Pop collector also.
Yes. By the way, he just got a son. He just became a dad. Yeah. Sean is an amazing, not only he's an amazing director of photography, but he's an amazing human being as well. I've been blessed to have an amazing crew, and they've been very they're very supportive, because obviously I'm biased. I'm compromised with this subject. We started, just to put it in perspective, we started noticing patterns of collectors that pretty much got everything American based. I have all the Joes, I have all the He-Man. So what do I do now that I have everything? So they decided to go abroad, and they started collecting foreign figures. I live abroad for a very chunk of my life, and the toys in my country of origin were in the cool toys. The American toys were the toys that you wanted to have. So if you were playing with firecrackers, those toys were the one, the immediate target, not the Americans, because they were more expensive. So we started registering this, and we taped a lot of foreign collectors. Now they're called themselves foreign collectors. So I said, you know what, I as a journalist, I want to hear the other side as well. So let's go to Rio de Janeiro and Brazil, and let's tape there. And let's go to Argentina. So Sean, yeah, he's a Funko Pop collector. He was having a blast because he was finally capturing toys, but he got to a point that everybody was rolling their eyes at me like, when are we going to stop?
So I was looking at some of the people online that were mentioning Plastic Crack, and of course we got Justice. We got I don't know if he's considered Masters of the Universe Joe or Motu Joe.
Joe, yeah, he's a temple in the Master of the Universe camp. An amazing human being as well. His interview was a blast. He has an impressive collection, and I'm pretty sure whoever is not aware of who he is going to love him, because he happens to be very popular online within the Motu community. But yeah, Motu Joe, another Michigan camper.
You see, that was my original collectible. I mean, I was basically Star Wars and Masters of the Universe. Had almost every vehicle and action figure up until the movie came out. And then once the movie came out, it kind of killed my childhood, unfortunately. And that's right around the time that Eternia playset came out. And I am kicking myself. My 10-year-old self is kicking myself in the butt. Why didn't you pick up 2 or 3 of those for a collection?
Yeah, who would know? But who wouldn't know? I mean, that happens with nowadays. I was at the G.I. Joe convention a couple of weeks ago, and there was this guy from Shanghai who flew all the way to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm like, that you have some love for toys and for Joes, and he did. He fairly did. But at the same time, he was trying to buy everything that was there of the modern stuff, the convention exclusive stuff. And then his reasoning had a point. He said, this is the last convention. This is the last toys. I'm just going to buy as many as I can because they're going to increase in value down the road. But, as a 7-year-old in front of an Eternia playset, such a massive playset, the last thing that you're thinking is that I might be able to pay my house in 10 years or 20 years by selling this piece.
Which brings up an excellent point, though. I know some of these shows coming out and some of the shows of the past, people are debating, is it hurting or is it helping the collecting community? What is your opinion on that?
You want me to talk about all the shows that are out there?
Well,
in general, I think it helps. Honestly, it helps. There's a lot of myth about toy collectors. There's there's misconceptions. As much as I love the director of the 40-Year-Old Virgin movie and every single one of his movies, I'm a big fan of him. That movie didn't do any good to what we do. So I think just spreading the word and saying out there that we're not a minority. I mean, it's not like it's starting a revolution or whatever, but knowledge always helps. And there's some square mentalities out there that they will just attack you and say, you're a weirdo because you do that. And those are toys. And they're not necessarily toys. They're tokens of creativity. They're your outlet for your daily struggle. They can mean so much that what they are actually were made for. And the more the merrier. The more of those shows out there, the merrier. I truly enjoy every single one of the Toys on Tomatoes episodes. I think they did an amazing job, and I hope they keep doing more.
All right. And then the other debate is, are these shows Justice? He's going to put a shameless.
Yeah. Please go and check Justice Curry on YouTube. He makes a video every 2 days in his closet. If you no, for real, if you want to see toys, if you truly enjoy the passion of collecting, go and check him out. Justice Curry on YouTube. There you go. I hope you're happy now.
I am not going to attempt to pronounce this name. I do apologize. But she says, Guillermo, adorable voice.
Liz. Just call her Liz.
Liz, okay. Oh, that's Justice's wife, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Okay. Correct. I apologize for not trying to pronounce your name.
It happens to me too, but you have to hear her saying my name, so it's just a blast. And she loves the way she loves my accent. So she's an amazing person. I mean, I'm very glad that they're all there. I see a bunch of stuff on the side, but I'm not familiar with that. I don't know what that means.
Justice saying, so excited for this. I'm just sorry. I'm trying to multitask because usually not that many people are commenting on this. You're a popular.
No worries. No, I'm not. They are.
Jay says, hey, guys. All right.
Hey, Jay. Super Jay.
So another debate that is taking place is, are these shows increasing pricing and making it more difficult for collectors, in your opinion?
Yes. Yes, I believe so. But the more the merrier. Yes, I do see a wave effect going on. Prices in G.I. Joes have increased dramatically before this new batch of series came up, and probably triple the price. I think that will be an elegant guess to say. However, that like any wave effect, it goes to a pike and then it's going to go down. It's going to trickle down. It also helps to connect within the community because there's a lot of closeted collectors out there. There's a lot of people that they do not interact for a myriad of reasons. There's people that just have amazing, huge collections and they just don't feel safe to share that, which is, I respect that. I'm very private myself, so I'm actually very surprised that I'm doing this now. But I'm usually the guy behind the camera, not in front. So, but going back to your question, I do believe, and Justice is a very strong advocate of that the more you connect with people out there, the better it gets. This whole hobby is not just the toys are just the blue, but the true gems are forming these relationships. And think about it. If you have been accused of having a plastic crack addiction because of you have a room full of toys, if you connect with someone who's also doing that, it's not only you're going to get attacked, you're going to get more knowledge. I'm pretty sure you're going to discover stuff that you didn't know, and even trades, whatever. It's someone that resonates within your taste. There's nothing wrong on that from my humble perspective. I think the more the merrier. Yes, the prices will increase, but yes, the prices will go down. It always happens.
Yeah, it's just like anything else, video games, comic books. You're always going to have people that are going to buy low and scalp high.
Yeah.
It's a problem with any sort of collector, it seems like. And
scalping is a big issue and is very criticized and all that. And there's a myriad of levels. We obviously explore that aspect of this whole community, but at the same time, I've seen some very smart collectors. They just go and buy in bulk. Not everybody should do that because you need to have like some sort of trained eye, and then you need to know your stuff to do that. But they go to a garage sale and buy a bunch of stuff for little to nothing, and they go and flip whatever they don't want, and pretty much what they were aiming for, they got it for free, and everything else is just become toy money. So there's like in everything, there's ups and downs, and everything is very subjective, if you ask me.
Oh, absolutely. And Justice has discussed that on his channel before. It's like, I really have no interest in this. I'm getting this for other people I know so I can buy more stuff that I want. And
correct.
So
he does that a lot, actually.
That is really cool. I'm just looking over.
But at the same time, Justice has a wonderful family. He has 2 amazing kids, and I understand why he does that. He's not compromising his household. And at the same time, he keeps increasing his collections. I don't see him, I honestly don't see him as a scalper. I see him as an opportunist.
Oh, no, I wasn't implying that. That's how it came out.
Yeah, I know you weren't, but I've seen comments not here, not now, that there's people that can easily go there. He's an opportunist. He goes and gets something, a clearance that for $100, and then he finds someone who pays 200, whatever. And then, but that money becomes toy money because then he goes and spends it on toys.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's a smart move. He's not compromising his household.
Right. Yeah. Don't take away from your regular paycheck. It's a beautiful thing.
Correct.
Carlos says,
Carlos Moron.
Ask him about his collection. I tried to ask him about his collection, but he's kind of hush-hush about it.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, and I don't know how can I say this with a straight face because I've been taping. We tape more than 60 collectors across the globe, and I literally it wasn't just an interview. We filmed their collections, and now me coming here and say I want to talk about my collection or show my collection is kind of ironic. But yeah, hi Carlos. Carlos is the one that I was mentioning before that connect me to Justice. Shout out to Mr. Barone. Thank you for doing that. I already talked about my collection, the Star Wars Joes and some other stuff. I do Transformers in some way. I like what is called here in the U.S. Shogun Warriors. In Japan, Messenger C or Messenger Z, and it was one of the very early attempts for me to collect a full line. And I'm a collector. I'm nowhere near the level of the collectors that we have on the film, so I'm pretty sure Carlos is just messing up.
There are guys with I don't know if any of them are on your show or not, but with almost warehouses just full of stuff. One picture,
like the one that I mentioned at the beginning, Irvin Santiago, which is one of the lead stories of the entire series. And it was a challenge because he doesn't like to for security reasons, he doesn't like that to be showing the amount of toys that he has. But it's mind blowing. That needs to be told. That needs to be shown because he obviously he's selling now for reasons that you will see in the documentary. But at the same time, that's one of the most amazing, craziest collections I ever seen in my life. Not just in person, but on video. And when you said warehouse loaded with toys, that's Irving right there. Tons of stuff. I have 10 Cobra soldiers. He probably have 900, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But your involvement with the show also, I mean, you're not just the creator and the director. From what I understand, from what I read, this is hearsay, you're the one actually doing the interviews yourself? Yes. I mean, besides Sean in my team, I'm probably the only one that collects anything at all. And this, obviously I was aiming for the personal story, but you need to know how to connect with that. And if it is a Star Wars collector, then there were certain items that triggers certain emotions and stuff like that, and only a collector can do it. So yeah, I wore that hat when we were doing the interviews, and I also wore that hat when we were directing the whole thing, and it just happened. But at the same time, it wasn't more work. I had a blast doing this. That's awesome. Now, I may or may not have seen a picture of you with the 2 Boba Fett's with the firing mechanism.
Firing rocket Boba Fett, but those are not mine. Those are Gus Lopez. Those belong to Gus Lopez. That's from Gus Lopez collection. I was literally trying to take a picture of them, of the toys. I'm not a selfie guy, of the actual action figures, but there's a mirror behind it, and when I saw the picture, I noticed that I was right in between them. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Profile picture.
That was like picture of the year, in my opinion. That was really cool.
There's almost like $200,000 in that picture, and that's not including me.
Fair enough. I'm looking over questions again, so just bear with me.
Okay.
I don't know what this means, but does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, they're messing with me. May the fourth be with you, Vicky.
Okay, fair enough.
She's probably saying that because here's the thing. When I sit down with everyone was expecting for me to say, so how many Borgs do you have? If you're army building Borgs, so how many G.I. Joes do you have? I didn't ask those questions. Not even to the former Hasbro executives. We had a big challenge. I probably saw every single documentary ever made before filming this one, but when we started doing this one, my whole team went through that route. I forced them to watch every single toy documentary ever made, but that created a challenge for us to, how can we tell the story in a different way? What can we say that hasn't been told already? And by trying to aim for that route, a lot of cool stuff came up. And this series will be highly emotional. There's just a handful of people that have seen it, obviously for quality purpose, for a myriad of technical reasons mostly, and they ended up like crying about it in some parts, not the whole thing. And
that's
so, because I was asking what led you to collect that Superman, and then you go and tell me, well, it connects to my dad, but my dad is not here, and then you can figure out the rest. So I just went through that route. I didn't ask for Superman, so probably that's why Vicky's calling me Oprah.
Understood. So there's a screener available? Is that what you're telling me?
Not yet.
I had to try.
Yeah.
I had to try with everybody when I speak. So,
and trust me, I'm the first one that's dying to say it's going to be on, and an exo date, but I can't at this point.
All right.
Will.
What else can you tell us about it? Is there anything else you can tell us about it?
Well, you're in for a joyride. If you are a Star Wars collector, you're probably going to enjoy the G.I. Joe take on it. You're probably going to enjoy the My Little Pony take on it. We were blessed to be able to tape Summer Hayes. She was a former Hasbro spokesperson, and she probably has the biggest My Little Pony collection ever. But at the same time, what Summer had to say was so substantial for what we're trying to aim. We're just basically explaining why are we doing this, and then in that journey, following Irving, Santiago, and Justice, we create an archetype of where do we want to go, because instead of everyone else talking about their personal story, we're actually following them in their personal journeys. And just taking a seat on that boat was an amazing experience, and I would love to do it again.
So it's not just a nostalgia standpoint, it's an emotional attachment and emotions throughout the whole thing. I dig it. That actually sounds really cool.
It's like I said at the beginning, I wanted to be broad. So your mom can watch it and somehow feel compelled to keep watching it. And anyone who's not within the hobby, it's just stories about people, normal people, regular people with a 9 to 5 sometimes, or a cop in Michigan who happens to have a rough day, and now he's, going back to that 7-year-old in that tour room and unplugging from the world.
Absolutely. I'm going to check. Hey, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up in a few minutes. If you have any more questions for him, please feel free to ask. I'm having a blast myself, but I want to watch it.
It will be soon, Joe. It will be soon. You're already on the list of the first two. My team will let you know as soon as we can. You're already on that list.
I appreciate that. We got Carlos. I'm very blessed and honored to be in a series of film and talk about my passion for toys and how it brings us together in different ways. I mean, that right there, that's gold.
Yep. That's the type of stuff that I was asking, and that's the type of answers that I was getting. I wasn't asking Carlos how many He-Mans or masks, or Carlos has a very interesting collection, because every single collector puts a label on it. Like, I'm a Transformer collector or whatever. He collects 80s memories. He collects a little bit of everything. And I strongly believe that he's trying to recreate a Toys R Us in that house. And I'm sure his wife is not happy about it. But that's also Christy's a wonderful person, but that's also another angle that we're exploring in a very funny way. What does your older one has to say about that? It all started with, I want that He-Man, but I need that Skeletor. Next thing you know, there's a room and the wife is going, what's going on? This is not what I signed for. So that's another big aspect that we're exploring within this journey.
Yeah, that's great. I always wondered that about some people and their collections. I mean, they start out with a room, then it spills into the guest room, and then the office, and then a little in the living room, and it keeps going on and on. So
it's plastic crack.
Absolutely.
Once you get a piece of it, you can't get enough. You need to get more.
So you got to do me a favor, sir.
Yes.
When you have more information on this, I'm going to ask you to come back for like at least a 5-minute episode so we can plug this and we can get the word out on where to watch it, how to watch it. But as of right now, where can they find more information on Plastic Crack? On
the Facebook page, which I should know, is Plastic Crack Film. I believe so. My team is going to kill me. Plastic Crack Documentary on Facebook.
Documentary.
And
you see, the sad thing is
Instagram, Plastic Crack Film.
Okay, Instagram, Plastic Crack Film, Facebook, Plastic Crack Documentary. I had all this pulled up on this great program that I pay for monthly, and it's not cooperating. I actually have the links.
Oops, it's gone.
I disappeared.
You're still there? There you go.
I'm still here. See, this is that great program that I'm referring to, which I'm going to have to get in contact with because
that's fine. That's
for my show.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look
technical defects.
There you go. Doesn't seem very professional right now.
No worries.
But again, I do apologize, folks out there that were waiting for us. I do apologize for being late. I was having technical defects with the program. We got there we go. Vicky put the link to Plastic Crack Film.
Thank you, Vicky.
Awesome, Vicky. And before we leave, Christy showed up to say hi.
That's Carlos' wife. Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to be wrapping things up. Is there anything else that you would like to get out there, sir?
As soon as we get that green light to disclose the outlets and when and everything, we're gonna make a big noise about it. And I mean, if you like the trailer, this is a window for me to sell, though. Go and watch it, but I'm not good at it. That's not what I do within our company. So, but I'm here. So my take on that will be, if you liked any of the trailers or the clips that we have on the page, that will be just a little piece of the whole pie. I mean, if you like that, you're gonna love the rest. Everything has been done with a lot of passion. Like I was saying at the beginning, I'm the only, besides Sean, I'm the only collector involved, but my team who wasn't actually helped to make this more enjoyable for everyone, because their take on the whole thing was completely different. And just by listening to them saying, why would you pay that amount of money for a big boat that you don't even know where to put because it doesn't fit, and reference to the USS flag, and that catalyzed an idea, and that eventually made it to the editing board. And this is a combination of many hours, a lot of passion. Is done from the heart, and everyone that sat on that chair in front of the camera spoke from the heart. So it's not going to be boring. It's not going to be factual. It's not. We have some of that, but it's not going to be back in 1996. Blah blah blah. It's going to be more human. It's going to be more down to earth, more something that you can resonate with. So I sincerely hope people like it.
Oh, I am almost guaranteeing they will. Carlos had one last thing to say. We were all very excited. Can't wait to see everyone. Thank you for what you filmed, sir.
Thank you. Thank Carlos, and thanks Christy for allowing us to commandeer the house. And Christy, I have a lovely story about. She's gonna kill me, but Carlos has started a few years ago. He's fairly new into this collecting world, and Kristen mentioned that he started saying, hey, yeah, I'm just going to buy a few toys here and there a few years ago. Next thing you know, there's a room full of toys, and now there's cameras and people here filming. So she was freaking out that day, and that was hilarious. But now we're very good friends.
But was she saying, hey? But I mean, these people don't know me from Adam. They showed up for you, and the amount of people commenting, that just shows how much respect and love they have for you and what you've done. So I am very much looking forward to actually watching this.
Thank you.
So
I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it.
And again, once you have any more information, give me
Absolutely.
5 minutes. We'll plug it everywhere, because
by all means.
We're all very excited to see it. Going to be signing out. Last chance, plug away.
Go watch, check the trailers on the Facebook page. Take a look at them. We have a little bit of everything. We have episodics of theme-based clips so you can get a sense of where we're heading and where we're trying to say. This is not just about Joe's. This is not just about Star Wars. It resonates regardless of what type of line do you collect. It will resonate with you. And the two main stories of Irving Santiago and Justice Curry, they're very compelling, and they're very interesting, and they're mind-blowing in their different aspects. I don't see why people won't love them as much as we all do now.
Absolutely. And everybody out there, watch it so we can get more.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
All right, guys, we are going to be signing out. Do me a favor, if you can hang out for one moment after I end the broadcast, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Guys, Plastic Crack, Facebook page and Instagram. Go check them out. Good stuff to come. It's a documentary series on toy collecting. So, all right. Thank you again. See, I'm going to screw it up. Guillermo.
Yeah, but it sounds great.
Olivo.
Yeah, Olivo. Guillermo Olivo, and that's fine.
I want to get the cool accent and roll it, but
that's fine.
I'm just a kid from Florida that can't do it.
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you for having me here and for helping spread the word.
It was my pleasure. Everybody have a great evening and join us next time.
Absolutely.